what we go through as campus students, the challenges, and how we would love the community, the society, our parents to reach to us and communicate. So first we are going to start by introduction. I'm Christine Fidelia by name, Black Coffee on all social media handles.
Yes, and Alvin Kanenda on every social media handle.
Your boy Shizzy Ban. You can find me on all social media platforms at Easy Shizzy.
Yeah, so let's start by briefly mentioning some of the challenges that we go through as campus students. One of them I would say is stress, whereby when it comes to the point whereby, when you're in campus, you're getting the chance to make your own choices, and you have to be accountable for them. And at times, we all at some point, we make the wrong choices. And you find that when you sit down, you think through them and you're like, why was I doing that? The challenge is not taking accountability, because when you don't take accountability, you start questioning yourself and you go into self-sabotage, thereby bringing about stress.
And let me say something, in campus or college students, they face this problem. Once you're out there, you just from Form 4. You've never handled any money, you've never handled any business. So it's a good thing though, but people teach themselves. So I would say campus students go through this problem in that they are being given money, and let me combine the two. They're having freedom and they're having money to budget for their own. They be given money by their parents or guardians or the people responsible for their accommodations or the government, the loans and stuff, but they will be getting this money. But now the challenge, one of the challenges that students go through, more so the fresh students or the new students, first years, I mean, they find it difficult or now to manage or calculatively use this money sparingly while in school, because you remember this is a person who just came from high school, he's never handled any money before, and now he's never handled any house budgeting or personal buying his own things on his own, budgeting for himself in the house, the basic needs, let me say that. So you find it's a very big problem in that I feel like our parents or guardians should sit us down before taking you to school. They should sit you down and tell you while you're there, this is how you should manage your money. So I really feel like even in campuses during the orientation, no teacher, no lecturer will teach you how to use your money. So I really feel this is a docket left for our guardians, left for our parents and elder brothers and sisters. You should sit your young ones down, or your siblings or your kids down. Tell them how to use the money that you'll be giving them, because you'll find that perhaps he or she has gone there as a first year and you've given him a lot of money. He might using it in some stupid stuff like buying drugs. He'll be testing lives, different types of life that he or she has never tested initially. So while you're having money and you're having a freedom, there's a very big possibility that you'll be falling into very stupid traps. Yeah. And when you talk about the freedom, here is where now you have to make your own choices. No one monitors when you get back to the house, but initially you're back in high school, it will get dark when you're already back to your house. But right now you'll be there staying in the hostels. No one pushes you to go to class, no one pushes you to study, to manage your time and stuff. So I really feel this part, it's a role left majorly for our parents and guardians. And you find most parents will just cheer and be very happy and buy their kids very expensive stuff while going to join the campus, because they are celebrating the results got in the Form 4, but they are forgetting to sit you down and nurture you how to manage your time while you join as a fresh student. Yeah.
And when this doesn't go as you planned or like how you imagined it will, it goes down to making you rethink, am I doing the right thing, or why am I not having money? I used to have money. You're not taking accountability, you're fighting yourself, so you fall into stress. So learn to like take accountability for every action that you take and learn from them.
And I really feel like when you talk about freedom that I talked about, freedom brings so many things. You know, with freedom, you'll be very idle. This is the time you'll begin focusing into the petty things that won't build you as a youth, won't build you as a student. Let me just talk about, it's not bad to date, but let me talk about relationship. You find that now you're there, no one monitors you, and you feel like you're beautiful. Everyone is trying to woo you and trying to make you their own girlfriends. You might fall for so many. By the time you realize you have like 3 4 boyfriends, because it's, you want to explore. So don't feel like getting this freedom comes with you exploring different men in the campus, because you're going to be a trash. Before you know, you're going to be trash. How? Let me just say, even if you're beautiful, to what extent you should really know how to manage the freedom when you get back, when you get to your first year.
I think that only happens when you lose focus.
Yeah.
But if you are focused with whatever took you there,
You know,
you should be able to plan well, because freedom is not bad. It's good, but when it's regulated,
Yeah.
when you are regulating your activities, you know, at this time I'm free, at this time, but at this time maybe I'm supposed to be at class. Even if you don't have class that day, you might be doing something else.
libraries are there.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily even libraries. You might be reading, you have your own books, you are reading somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if it is not reading, you might be socializing, not in a bad way.
But I think I'd put it this way.
Yeah.
With freedom comes responsibility.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean when you're sent to campus or like when you're in those learning institutions, you're not supposed to like socialize.
No, you have to.
Yeah.
Socializing, getting a boyfriend is a mutual thing. Getting a girlfriend is a mutual thing. But when we say responsibility, that's where the key thing comes in. Be responsible, make sure you're safe, and always do the right thing. When he said like, you by the time you realize you have 4 boyfriends, oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, you have 4 boyfriends, you should be able to like realize that I'm not supposed to be like having 4 boyfriends. How am I going to manage the situation? That's responsibility. So when you go to campus, it's not just about education or like academics and books. It's a place that molds us to be responsible citizens of the country, and this comes in all terms apart from academics. So be responsible and make the right choices.
I think through those colleges, campus or university, those is the places where you build the connections.
Yes.
So you decide whether you want to build constructive relationships or you want to destroy yourself.
Destructive.
So
Yeah.
that's upon you. So
And-
to add on to another point to this topic we are talking about,
Yes.
I'll talk about peer pressure, the urge to fit in.
Yeah.
You find 40 years glowing and looking
So
good.
you find someone they are in their home, they have money, and then with you and your situation, you are coming from a background different from the other person. Now you want to elevate, you want to dress the same way they dress, but you don't know their story. But you know your story, but you don't know their story. Now you are trying to fit in. You
Be
see,
contented.
be
Yeah,
contented with what you have,
On your
because
levels. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
when we mention peer pressure, I think people should like look into getting into positive peer pressure rather than getting into negative, because
Yeah.
the negative peer pressure always ends in distraction, itakuharibu proper. So if you're trying to like learn something new, get to know something that you've never interacted with, make sure it's something that even if you think about a second person, let's say like your mother or like your father, think if I were doing this in front of like my mom and dad, would they approve? Would this is this something I'm able to do when I'm back home? When you realize that it's something you're not able to do when you're back home, that's your sixth sense telling you that is something that is wrong. So when we're looking into peer pressure, please get into positive things, learn new things, build who you are, because that is how we learn everything and we improve ourselves.
Let me again talk about our parents. When your kid is at high school, whether he's a man or whether he's a boy or a lady, as a parent, a responsible parent, even if you're having the maids and I don't know, you should really teach them how to cook. There are some house chores that they should be knowing. By the time they finish high school, they should know it.
Yes.
Like mopping, cleaning,
basic stuff.
Yeah, the basic stuff, cooking, preparing some meal. Because when they get there, some of them waste money in the hotels. Why? Because they cannot even prepare a meal for themselves. So you find that you've given them some house shopping, they go give it to their friends or sell it out in the name of, I cannot cook, now I'll be buying food from the hotel. And you feel, before you know, you'll be broke, calling your parent before even you're given like much money, you spend it on the hotel, before you know you're broke. So parents, please just teach them.
Yeah, and
Early enough.
Yes.
adding on that, parents also talk to your kids on sexuality. I know it's a very delicate topic, but it's a topic that no one can ever like teach us well if it's not our parents. Because if we leave it to like go and learn about sexuality out there, that's whereby you realize now you are seeing sexuality as something that is forbidden. Sexuality is pure. If you are doing the right thing in the right way, it should be pure. So parents, the moment your kids start getting into adolescence, please sit them down and tell them the things that they need to know, because you let them go out there without knowing 1, 2, 3 about what sex is, what their sexuality is, what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do, and they go out there, they're testing waters, and that's whereby we mess up. You find that we get into first year, before like we finish our first year, 10 girls are pregnant. If the parent had taught this girl on safe sex, that wouldn't happen. If the parent had taught this girl about emergency pill, I'm not against it, I'm in for it, used in the right way. Most people say it's wrong, but you should be able to like take care of yourself. You went there to learn, not to bring like, kids are blessings. Okay, you support me on that. Kids are blessing and they always come at the right time. But imagine a point whereby you bring a kid into this world and you yourself are not able to like take care of yourself. There's no point of like ufanye hivyo ulete mtu kwa dunia alafu unamte
when you are not even able to take
you
care
are
of
just there
yourself,
for
and
the
then
sex.
you want another one. So
exactly.
how
Na kwanza
are
naongezaji
the two of you
watatu.
going to survive?
Exactly, yeah. So if you know that you are going to have sex for pleasure, we are humans, it happens, it's normal. Please make sure you get into safe sex and use the appropriate methods to secure yourself. Then when I mentioned the pill, I'm gonna just say it briefly that ladies, it should be used once annually, meaning that the emergency pill should be used once every 6 months. So tafadhali msimezeka Panadol juu tulisikia kwa podcast walisema kama utaki mtoto unameza P2. P2 should be used annually.
Wasitumie kama njugu.
Si Panadol, si njugu, yeah.
Today, just allow me to crucify our guardians and parents.
Okay.
When we've talked about, the first years, major of our discussion to this point, we've talked about the first year, the fresh students. I want to talk about the third years, from second year, third year, fourth year. These people, they go through a lot. And to some level, or to some, let me just say to some level, they get depressed because of what they go through.
Yeah.
So back to our parents. Even if you know your son or your daughter is corny in a way, or he uses some dubious means to get money from you, and you've even realized, don't block,
them away.
don't push them away. Give them some listening ear. Listen to them. Whenever they reach out to you, just try to listen to them. Some of them really go through a lot. They are depressed from the relationships from friends, from, I don't know, the things that they go through in campuses. So when your son or your daughter reaches out, please listen to them. Even before, if they reach out, your kid can go silent for a week. And I really feel if you're a responsible parent, you should never even take a whole 7 days, full week, without talking to your daughter or your son who is in college or campus. Because perhaps this is where you find so many students commit suicide, so many students kill one another for girlfriend, boyfriend shit, for failing in exam, having some being in discipline cases. But if you bring them close as a parent, they will be there's this urge of feeling free, and they will communicate freely with you as a parent. By so, you'll get to know the problems they go through. You'll get to know even the people they date. And by knowing that, at least you'll know the first step whenever your daughter or your son is in trouble. But when now you're very harsh to them, you don't want to hear anything to do with girlfriend, boyfriend, try to know their friends. Come visit them sometime. Not even call them. Just pop to school, tell him like, yo, my son, my daughter, I've missed you. I'm just coming to visit you. I'm passing by or something. Go visit, check up on your kids. Because right now here in Kenya, you find so many students committing suicide, so many students killing their fellows because of love, because of, some chaos that arose in between them. Parents, check up on them. Parents, give them a listening ear. Parents, care for them, visit them.
Adding on parents, I'm also going to say that parents normalize checking on your kids. The mentality that she's a fourth year, he's a fourth year, he's a grown up, he can take care of himself or herself, should be completely, it shouldn't be there. Because at this point, they are still kids, they are learning. They are not yet stable to live their lives on their own. Yes, we can say we are stable because we live in our hostels alone. We do our things alone. All you have to do is just send me the money and I'll handle everything. I'll even prove that I'm responsible by paying my fees in time and attending my classes. My attendance is always there. But at times you just need a listening ear. You need just someone to talk to. And if you call your parent and they are they think all the time, you always think it's money. It's never money at times. Sometimes I just want to sit with my dad and just talk to him, or sit with my mom and just talk to him, or just see my mom's my phone ringing and I see it's my mom who is calling. I'm already happy because I know that I'm going to have a good day. Mom called me today. She was telling me what was happening back home, or dad called me today. He was telling me what was happening back home and things like that. So talking opens doors. Parents, normalize talking with your kids. Normalize calling us. Let me say us.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, to add top on depression is real. And it doesn't matter whether you are a parent, whether you are a student, whether you are a kid. It doesn't indiscriminate.
Yeah.
Depression is real. So if this one now goes to the youth, if your school fees is paid on time, whenever you want some pocket money, you are being given on time. Ukipiga tu simu unataka kitu, you are being given on time. Please don't stress your parents. If your parent is caring, also do the honors, appreciate.
Yes.
Don't put your parents into
and
into
also,
the panic mode.
Those who always get involved into matters that are unasikia umeshika uko stenje, unasikia sijui ulipiga mtu umefanya nini, unasikia sijui nini. Hata at that point is where the parent starts getting tired with you. It's not that they don't love you. They're like, ama tena ameshikwa, ama amepatwa tena naiba mtihani. So hapo pia as youths, as campus students, let's be disciplined. Be the same person your parents would love to have around. Don't come here and don't go to campus and develop some funny characters that hata best yako anasikia anasema mi huyo na siku hizi sijui rada yake. Why don't they know your rada? Mbona hawajui rada yako? Because you have changed. And when you change and you have those funny characters, people start avoiding you. Then you realize you don't have friends. Then you fall into depression. Even the depression ukuja. So check on who you are, pia.
So in short, be the student you'd wish your daughter or your son to be.
Exactly.
And now, here is the most nice and sweet part. When you fall into depression or when you're stressed as a student, learn to communicate. Don't keep it to yourself, because you'll end up coming to a conclusion or making a decision that you will live to regret. So, the most beautiful part, if you happen to be depressed when you're in school, or you're stressed in any way, find even a lecturer who you're close to, your mom, your guardian, in your family, or your fellow student. Just communicate. Even if you're an introvert, you're a sanguine, you're a choleric, don't keep your problems to yourself. The ones that you cannot handle, share them with the people you're close with.
Correct.
Then you will get help.
Yeah.
By doing so, we'll minimize the suicide things. We'll minimize people killing one another, youths killing one another, because by communicating to the right people, they will advise you on the right channel to follow on how you can help yourself as well.
Sure.
Yeah, so I really feel communication when we are in problem, when we are depressed, when we are stressed, is very key. And it's the first key one.
Yeah. And you don't have to kwenda kuongelesha mtu. You can write notes.
For sure.
If you're not good at talking, you can write notes. I know some of you are very good at writing music, and sometimes you can be listening to a music and you ask yourself, what was this person thinking when they're writing this music? So you also, as the listener, be keen on the nitty-gritties of whatever your friend is trying to communicate to you. And there are different ways of communication. Please choose one that's well compatible with you, and tujifunze tu pass information.
And I'll talk about different things. Choose your friends wisely. This is a challenge to so many students. You go there and you're trying to fit in, and you happen to fall into a group of friends that even your parents themselves won't approve. So choose your company wisely, because they will define your character in one way or the other.
True.
Yeah, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
So once you go there, before you get into deeper friendship or connection with somebody, please get to know them. And the same happens to relationship. Before you fall in love, before you give yourself, you begin investing your time and into a relationship or with a friend, either a person you are dating or your friends, get to know them first. Get to know their reputation. In case if they're second years or third years, ask people like, how is so and so? Is he a good person? By doing so, you shall have known the person you're falling in love with, and you shall have known the group of friends that you are involving yourself with.
In short, to do some research.
Yes, on the people you want to be close to. Yes, I think that is one of the challenges as well. Yeah, and whenever you fail or you have a soup or refer, don't be demoralized, my brother. This is a problem. People fail, and if you never fail, you will not know what you won't know what it takes for a success. So, if you've had a refer or a soup in one subject or one unit
or two,
don't be demoralized. Even if you fail, don't be discouraged. Gather yourself. Find where you went wrong, correct your mistake, and go back to school. There are so many people who drop out. They just lie to their parents like, hey, dad, I'm home taking some online classes. And this also happens to those who are suspended. You come back and you lie to your parents, finding another new parent to go back to school with, and lie like, this is my dad and I'm back from home. I was suspended. Don't lie to them. Be free with your parents. Just tell them, dad, I was suspended because I did this and this. And even if you fail, just tell dad, I'm taking my time to find my roots where I went wrong. I'm going to correct that in my next semester. And I promise I'm going to do well. Yeah. And you just walk into your past, correct where you can, and, just face the education once again.
Don't start lying about it.
Yeah, don't lie.
Giving stories, bogus stories about it. And then all of a sudden, you will get caught at the end.
And it will be very bad. If you speak it out by yourself, the trust won't be destroyed. But if you lie and one day your parents realize that you are
because if you lie and assuming you are supposed to finish in 4 years.
No, you are heading to 6 years and
you started lying.
What is happening?
There must be something wrong. You will get caught.
So transparency, communication is key. And let me talk about this actually. There's some students who go back who join campus, from second year, third year, they might want to invest on their own. They begin their own business. So as a student, I will tell you this. Don't focus into that business too much. Remember what took you there. The main goal, the main purpose that took you to that school or campus is education. So prioritize education before money. Even if you're hustling, it's a good thing going on. And I really love a person who wants his or her own money. But please, give education your first priority. Yes.
But if you can multitask, well and good for you.
And another thing, if you're there in campus, try so much as you can to serve a living God. Try as you can to have this connection. Pray. Recognize God because He is the only person who will be looking after you when you're there studying, when you're there hanging out with your friends, when you're there away from your guardians and parents and family. So please, find a religion and serve your God.
Kama weni wa CU, ziko pale. Kama weni SDA, ziko pale. Kama weni Catholic,
Muslim,
Pagan wako hapo kweli.
So please just try. It will be very helpful for you because right there, let me tell you, there's some friends might mislead you, but they might even be jealous of you when you're now making big steps. You have your business and you have your everything going on. You're performing well and you have your business running on well. Please serve a living God and pray. Have some spiritual spirit within you. And talking about business, I would advise each and every person in campus to find their own hustle. And this will help you not to give your parents much pressure. You won't give them much pressure that I need this money, and tomorrow you call, evening you call, lunchtime you want to call every time because you're broke. You will find that if they don't send, at least you can take some money from the business you survive with. When they send, you replace. So at least try to get engaged because campus students, they might have 1 or 2, 3 classes in a day. There's some hours, free time hours that they're having each and every day. So if you have a business, something good for you going on, you'll be motivated as well. Yes.
Yeah, and also adding on religion, I think another problem that we face mostly as campus students is lack of self-confidence and the fact that you don't want to make your own decisions. You want to rely on rende yako. Rende imesema hivi, ninaenda. So this is something that I tell my friends all the time. If you didn't plan on it, you don't do it. And don't let them tell you you're going to do it because you're a friend. If you're not doing it, you're not doing it. Let your no be a no, let your yes be a yes.
And then if you are not invited, don't go.
If you're not, exactly. If you're not invited, don't go. Stay in your house. Yeah. Baki hapo kwa nyumba yako. This is what leads to people talking about you, then esteem inaenda chini, alafu depression inaingia, alafu etc., etc. So learn to make your own decisions. Sit down, study who you are, know who you are, and know the things you want and the things you don't want. This, in association to like praying, will help you make proper decisions.
For sure.
And before you make any proper decision, always look deep into yourself and let your sixth sense be active, because your sixth sense, hata kama mnasema tunakuanga na 5, there's always a sixth one. Unataka kufanya kitu but akili yako inakwambia tu hapana, usifanye. Always listen to that, because that is your angel, that is your guide. And this is something that if you rely on a group to always make your choices, you never learn how to make your own choices. Kesho tumemaliza shule, tumegraduate, you go out there, you still want to rely on people, but uko nje hawatakuwa like fairly good kama our campus. Uko inje is everyone for themselves and God for us all. So your decisions should be yours, so that you are able to take accountability for the choices that you make.
For sure.
Yes.
And you know, as we are finalizing, you as well, you can think of your last point. I will say, if you're a campus student, I will really discourage the issue of gambling.
Yeah.
I will really I strongly discourage a student to gamble, because bro, baby girl, you don't have your own money.
Mtu anagamble
see at the end of the semester.
Don't gamble.
Hawezi.
Don't gamble. Please be contented with your levels. Stay as per your class and
Love
be
yourself.
comfortable. Love yourself. Care for what you do. You know, mind everything. Think like 3 times before you do anything. Give education your first priority. Communicate whenever you have a problem, and you know, you'll finish up very okay with some good, nice grades.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, once you're an outstanding in that school or institution, you will never lack a job. Everyone will notice your uniqueness. You as an outstanding student, there is somebody will notice that, and you will get help one way or the other. So give education your very best. See you in the next episode. Unless if
Be yourself, do you, and above all, remember what took you there. Thank you.
Yeah, don't chase, learn to attract.
Bye.